Hello, Snow Vortex here. Do my first video for ages actually. Just a very laid back one. I'm just going to reboot my internet Smite thing, which I did one over a while ago. So basically, I'm just going to watch a clip from the current, of Donald Trump in this instance, and then I'm going to respond to some of the comments that I see below. So watch the video first, and I'll.
An economy based on wind. I never understood wind. I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody. I know it's very expensive. They're made in China and Germany mostly. Very few made here, almost none. But they're manufactured tremendous, if you're into this, tremendous fumes, gases are spewing into the atmosphere. We have a world, right? So the world is tiny compared to the universe. So tremendous amount of fumes and everything. You talk about the carbon footprint. Fumes are spewing into the air, right? Spewing. Whether it's in China, Germany, it's going into the air. It's our air, their air, everything, right? So they make these things, and then they put them up. And if you own a house within vision of some of these monsters, your house is worth 50% of the price. They're noisy. They kill the birds. You want to see a bird graveyard? You just go. Take a look. A bird graveyard? Go under a windmill someday. You'll see more birds than you've ever seen in your life.
What the fuck is he on about?
In California, they were killing the bald eagle. If you shoot a bald eagle, they want to put you in jail for 10 years. A windmill will kill many bald eagles. It's true. And you know what? After a certain number, they make you turn the windmill off. That's true, by the way. They make you turn it off after you. And yet, if you killed one, they put you in jail. That's okay. But why is it okay for these windmills to destroy the bird population? And that's what they're doing. I'll tell you another thing about windmills. And I like all forms of energy. And I think really they're okay in industrial areas, like you have an industrial plant, you put up a windmill, et cetera, et cetera. I've seen the most beautiful fields, farms, most gorgeous things you've ever seen. And then you have these ugly things going up. And sometimes they're made by different companies. I'm like a perfectionist. I really built good stuff. And so you'll see like a few windmills made by one company, General Electric. And then you'll see a few made by Siemens. And you'll see a few made by some other guy that doesn't have 10 cents. It looks like So you see all these windmills. They're all different shades of color. They're like sort of white, but one's like an orange white. It's my favorite color, orange.
Why are people
And you see these magnificent fields, and they're ruined. And you know what they don't tell you about windmills? After 10 years, they look like hell. They start to get tired, old. You got to replace them. A lot of times people don't replace them. They need massive subsidy from the government in order to make it.
So
no, we're doing it right. We're doing it right. And our numbers environmentally right now are better than they've ever been before, just so you know. Because I'm an environmentalist. I am. I want the cleanest water on the planet. I want the cleanest air anywhere.
What the actual fuck? So basically, he was mixing up wind turbines as far as I can tell, windmills. That's what I got from it. I'll look at some of their comments. I'll do my hot take. Broad eagle, bad wind. Donald Trump featuring Yuka Ono. He never understands wind, but he studied it better than anyone. It's just such a way with words. Just the way that he actually structures any of his sentences it's like listening to a 5-year-old speak. It really is. The thing that really got me about that clip actually was when he said, which I just thought, oh god, I lose all hope in the human race ever really achieving anything anymore. Is where he said, what did he say? Oh, orange, my favorite color, and everyone just cheered. It wasn't even funny. It was so stupid. Obviously being sort of self-deprecating, but it wasn't very clever. It was just really fucking stupid. UK only has offshore windmills because the Crown Estate owns the seafloor and the utilities pay rent to the Crown for the UK to have the most inefficient wind farms in the world. UK government is just a centuries-long bunch of cronies and aristocrat families. No, that's not really that true. Not so much these days. Obviously, the aristocrat, you've got a lot of old Etonians in power in the Tory party mostly. That's where most of that lies. But I don't know what else to say for that. Yeah, the only applause came after he claimed his orange. Yeah, I just thought, oh my god, ugly things going up like Trump hotels. This excuse for a man is completely psychotic. I wouldn't say he's psychotic, he's more just narcissistic and actually. See, the thing is, I think he is actually quite basic. I think he is really that as basic as he seems. Maybe psychotic, I don't know. Admit Trump supporters, if you have heard anyone else saying this, you would literally be thinking they need their head examined. Do you really think it's safe for this man to be in the White House? Well, I've got to admit, I've got someone. He's got a point there. If I don't know, Obama came up and said that, everyone would be just all right on it. Especially because Obama had a lot of media. Well, he's the president, but you know what I mean, because he's the first black president. So. He had some kind of legal wrangle with Scotland about wind turbines near his beloved golf course, hence the expertise. So the responses to that. They blew his comb over off. The world is tiny compared to the universe. This guy knows his stuff. It is quite a, quite a demonstration of how idiocracy seems to be the culture at present. This man isn't an expert in windmills. He's an expert in windbags. In fact, he's a prime example of a windbag. No one knows more about the universe than I do. Donald J. Trump. Yeah, I mean, what a statement, Einstein doesn't, has less knowledge. If his statement is taken just on its face value, that literally pretty much means he's the cleverest person on Earth. Yeah, idiocracy has arrived, exactly, yeah. I like that one. That's pretty much it. With his obsession with windmills, Trump is kind of USA's answer to Don Quixote. I never know how to pronounce this. Quixote. Give the man a horse. In reality, this is all about protecting his chums and benefactors in the fossil fuel industry. Well, yeah. What a nutcase. And he's the Prez of America. Windmills are propellers to make the Earth spin. Everyone knows that. Trump in his final meltdown. He needs his batteries replacing, so someone needs to wind that little key in his back a few times. Well, here's hoping, I guess. It's like watching your senile old grandpa whine about how phones are too complicated at Thanksgiving. It'd be amusing if he wasn't in charge of the entire country. At this point, it's all you can do is laugh, really, to be honest. America, your president is broken. Trump's high as a kite. This guy's insane enough he shoots the wind and apparently doesn't drink. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a lie. I wonder if his supporters are ever embarrassed trying to listen to this very stable genius. Makes sense. To make matters worse, his supporters have to back his lies. Otherwise, they have to admit that Trump talks such nonsense all the time. Listen to the weirdo Yanks. Applaud the crazy cunt. Sort of have the same feeling. Referring to all Americans as Yanks is like calling everyone the British Isles Irishmen. We deserve all the ridicule you can muster. conservative values. Screw conservative values. Was this the opening gig at a Florida comedy festival? It's beyond funny or bizarre. It's frightening. Well, I don't really think it's frightening. I mean, he's been in power for quite a while now. Was it almost 4 years? Maybe more actually. I can't lose track. And he is an idiot. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Guy's a total idiot. I can't even find any other word for it. Ignoramus. But a complete idiot in power, as long as he's not a evil fuck, is less not that. Well, he can still cause damage. He already has anyway, Trump, but it's not as dangerous as you might think. Trump sounds so high as ashes. That wasn't really a hot take. That was terrible. Sorry. Trump sounds so high as ashes can be snorted as cocaine. So embarrassing to have such an incompetent, ill-informed, illiterate representing this country to the world. I can imagine. Americans, it must be terrible. I mean, we've got Boris Johnson in charge now, so we've got our own sort of version of it there in England. We differently, in a different way, but bumbling sort of toff we've got. The secret of the demagogue is to make him as stupid as the audience they believe they are as clever as he. Ominous. I had to practice reading to be sure that he really said all this nonsense. This president has the intellectual level of a 4-year-old child. That's actually exactly what I said as well. I have heard crackheads make more sense than this guy. No wonder he doesn't want anyone to see his grades from school. What a national embarrassment. It's more like a Monty Python sketch than a presidential speech. Very true. Okay, I'll do this for another 5 minutes. Nurse, has Donald forgotten to take his medication again? For a guy that doesn't understand wind, he sure generates enough of it. Well, Trump. Fart. Everyone knows he is a simpleton, but saying he's studied windmills and yapping on about wind turbines is something else. I will never get tired of this most glorious performance art piece. The president, who runs an entire country, doesn't understand renewable energy. What's this guy on? Never having understood wind power is nothing unusual for Mr. Trump. That is only the tip of the iceberg. He is a classic concept of an imbecile. Yeah, pretty much. Wind turbines, not windmills, are made in the USA. Let's see what happens. He's like a child in a man's body. I expect he calls any train a chuffer train. Check Oxford English Dictionary. Windmill, a structure using wind to generate electricity or draw water. Well, windmills and wind turbines are different things. One harness, this is my understanding as well. One harnesses mechanical energy, while the other harnesses air mass kinetic energy to transform it into electricity. Windmills do not generate electricity. YouTube commenter versus man who understands trade. They're the same thing. They're the same cretin. Check the dictionary, my friend. I'm not making this up. You know that the meaning of the words adapt over time. You're just applying a literal interpretation that you created. This should be interesting. I'll just read to the end of this and then go. I don't know how to say this without sounding like an arrogant person. I saw the dictionary description, but it's meaningless. I've studied this, friend. Windmills have always handled mechanical energy, mainly used for pumps or hydraulics, water pumping. A wind turbine, in essence, this is my understanding as well, to be fair. A wind turbine, in essence, generates electricity using kinetic energy harnessed from wind power. Turbines have so many components that windmills. Anyway, it's not trying to get into a battle. The dictionary can say whatever it wants, but ask another engineer and they'll tell you the same thing. I live in the Netherlands, by the way. I'm no slouch when it comes to windmills. But you argue with the dictionary, I'm afraid! The meaning of a word does not have to turning a particular object. They're just labels. The usage decides what label we use. You should have decided that we called wind turbines windmills. If you study this, I think you're in trouble. Wind and falling water are both forms of kinetic energy. Both windmills and watermills and turbines work on the same principle, just with different outputs. I'm not sure where you're going with that argument. How can I get it through your thick skull? Quite the skull. Quite the dictionary replies. Quit the dictionary replies. They don't work. I'm glad you live in Holland. I'm sure that gives you a huge input on windmills. I'm from Spain, so I should know much more about olives and bulls. You think I'm in trouble? You literally just made my point with the different outputs part of your comment. Turbines generate electricity directly, windmills harness mechanical energy. This is not the same as windmills producing electricity directly like wind turbines do. I find it highly condescending that you, a person who quotes dictionaries and states where they live, has the guts to come here and challenge me like I was a mere freshman. Friend, this is my current capstone project. Why do you think I even watched this one video? Did you see Trump make a fool out of the US again? It was recommended by a professor, Dr. Kilbert, USF, because of the disparities the man was saying. I will not reply again, Mr. Netherlands. Think whatever you want. I hope one day you will come to realise my sole point. Windmills lack a turbine and therefore can only harness mechanical energy. They do not generate electricity on the spot. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boys getting out their fucking degrees. I'm currently postgraduate at Oxford University, studying philosophy and linguistics, and I'm afraid it's you with the thick skull. You're trying to argue about the differences between the outputs of windows and wind turbines when we've already established the meaning of the words, and the only place we can do that, a dictionary. What are you, some sort of postmodernist? Well, I'm going to do my hot take now. This guy's studying philosophy and linguistics, so he's concerned with the study of language. This guy's an engineer. I know who I'd trust with the actual definition mechanically of what these two things do. The engineer, of course. I mean, I love philosophy. I think linguistics is an important field, but this guy's just got something stuck up his ass. You realise that you twisted the terms of the conversation started as blah blah blah. Trump's use of the word windmill, which corrects debating whether there's a difference between windmills and wind turbines, which no one ever argued against. I don't want to condescend you, but I'm competing in the national. Oh, I don't want to condescend you, but then he goes on to condescend it. I don't want to condescend you, but I competed in the national university competition in the UK, which made the first good and highest knowledge of my whole university. I thought I learned the rest of the 20 blah 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 condescending. I am an academic. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I think on that note, I'll end that video. It's funny how it started with a literal imbecile and then ended with two academics, intellectuals sort of arguing. One of who's being fairly reasonable and then one who's sort of just decided to suck his own dick. Anyway, that's that.